As review students, this continues problem 1 of our video. Previous video I asked you guys to try out these two problems, and one of the problems was 4x plus 5y equals 0. If you needed help, I highly encourage you to go back to your notes. So remember what our very first step was? Our very first step was to get y by itself. So we had to do that. So hopefully you would have came up with y equals negative 4x, or negative 4 over 5x. Okay? And how you would have gone about that is by subtracting 4x from both sides and dividing by 5. If you're still having struggle with this, problems with this step right here, getting y by itself, please let me know, okay? Because this stuff is not going to go away, all right? We're going to be doing tons of this in Chapter 5. So, then you had to ask yourself, is this a direct variation? Well, is it a direct variation? Does it fit the y equals kx? Does it fit that? It sure does. So since it does, it is a direct variation. We had to tell what the constant of variation was. And what is the constant of variation? Negative 4 over 5. Because remember, the constant of variation is the coefficient of x, is the copilot of x, and the copilot of x is negative 4 over 5. So the other one that you were asked to do was negative 3y equals 6x minus 9. Again, the very first step was to do what? Get y by itself. So hopefully you would have came up with y equals negative 2x plus 3. Again, this one was a little bit on the easier side because in order to get y by itself, all we had to do was divide by negative 3 from every term. Now, you might have said that this was negative 2x minus 3 because 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3, right? The thing that you messed up on, if that was the case, was the fact that this is a minus 9. So this minus 9, if I change this to addition using the subtraction rule, this becomes keep, change, change. This really is a negative 9. This is a negative 9 over a negative 3. And what's a negative divided by a negative? A positive. So if you had a negative 3 here, you most likely forgot to change this to addition and didn't realize that this 9 was indeed a negative 9. I see that a lot on students' work. And when I say a lot, okay? They forget that a subtraction really is a negative sign, okay? It's the opposite of. And that's exactly what subtraction means, the opposite of. Okay, so the next thing you had to realize is this a direct variation? Well, think about it. Does this equation match up to y equals kx? Does it match up to that? No, it does not. So therefore, this is not a direct variation. Because there's something being added to x, isn't it? What's being added to x? 3. So therefore, this is not a direct variation. It is not a direct variation because 3 is being added to x. Okay, if you have questions on this, please raise your hand. Come back to me. We will work on this if you are still struggling with this, okay? It is okay to be struggling with it. It is not okay to not ask for help, all right? So that does conclude the problems of try these, and we'll move on to the next part.